Our next simplest case will be Lafferty versus Bartlett. Mr. Bartlett, would you come have a seat right here, please? Mr. Lafferty, would you raise your right hand? Mr. Bartlett, would you raise yours? Do you all swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
All right, this is a claim for $1,840 plus cost for, I think, an insurance deductible that Mr. Lafferty lent to Mr. Bartlett. Is that correct, Mr. Lafferty?
Yes.
Mr. Bartlett, what's your position?
At the time I had a stroke, so I was in the hospital and I didn't even know this all came around. My daughter can tell you more about it because, like I said, I had a stroke and I was in the hospital and I didn't even know he had taken it out.
Did he lend you $1,840 to pay your insurance deductible?
Well, I didn't know he had done that.
Well, but did it get paid?
Yes, did.
So you don't think you should pay him back for that?
No.
Your Honor.
What? Yeah, just a minute. Go ahead, Mr. Lafferty, I guess.
All I was going to say is the deductible was $1,000, and I had tried for, I don't know, year and a half. It's been a long time. And that $840, honestly, all I did was just because of the lies from him. And he knows, he can talk about a stroke. He knows very well what was going on, what had happened. He and I talked about it. The $840 is basically just 14 months at 6%.
Well, you can't sue for that.
That's
You
fine.
can sue for the loan, so $1,000.
And I had per his daughter, per him, while he was in the hospital because K&D wanted to get paid because his car was done. And I have text messages back and forth from Mindy and I about the insurance checks and who has them, and he was well aware. And I understand he had a stroke from a suicide attempt, and he.
All right, well, let's just leave it at that. You land him $1,000, you don't get to add $840 for aggravation.
That's fine.
I find that you owe $1,000 plus $83.50. You got the benefit of having the $1,000 to pay your deductible. And he is asking to have that reimbursed. Are you still on Parkville Road?
Yes.
Now, can you make some sort of monthly payment on this?
I can.
How much could you pay each month?
It's just, the point is the reason, one of the biggest reasons I didn't pay him that back is because of the situation in his home with that's how come I ended up with my granddaughter as custody. And we've been trying to get her stuff back from him for
Well, that's
almost 2 years and we can't get them back.
Well, then file a small claims against him for that.
I thought that's what I did on the,
Well, it says, I was told I have 33% usage. My doctor is advising me, I'm not asking for this matter to go away, I only have it delayed. And I did delay it a little, but no, I don't see it. Let me look, am I missing something? Oh, yeah. I just had a stroke and wasn't aware of what happened. On a claim for $1,500 because he stole from me a stack of sheet metal. That's not related to this at all. It's a completely separate matter. So if you want to sue him, sue him. But in the meantime, I'm going to owe get fined for $1,000 at $100 per month, starting August 1st. If you want to sue him for $1,500, your counterclaim isn't related in any to this.
How do I get my granddaughter's things back from him then? How?
Well, you can
Your
file
Honor.
what's called just a minute. You can file what's called a claim and delivery action, which is not small claims. In small claims, all I can order is money damages. So you could hire a lawyer and file a claim and delivery, and if the judge orders it, the sheriff goes and gets the stuff back. It's hard to do pro per without a lawyer, like small claims is. But this is a discrete amount. He added $840, which didn't apply to anything, just like your counterclaim didn't. But let's say your granddaughter's things are worth $3,000. You can sue him for $3,000, but it doesn't get the things back. If you want to get the things back, you have to file what's called a claim and delivery action. So it's tough, particularly when there's not a lot of money involved. And the things may be important, maybe baby pictures or keepsakes.
Anything that belonged to her mother. I mean,
Yes. So
hers.
that's a separate matter. I'm going to make this August 15th and then August 1st and the 15th of each month. Mr. Lafferty, he contends you've got some items that you won't return. What's the story regarding that?
Well, you want the long story or the short story, Your Honor?
Well, wouldn't it be easier to just give it back?
Well, it's not a matter of giving it back. The problem is there is no way to contact Grace, my daughter. Rex, I guess, figured out how to block my number via Grace or Mindy. I don't know. So the communication is the biggest issue. I was talking to Grace's boyfriend, but then he wanted to throw out a childish idle threat. So at that point, I shut him down. We had packed all of Grace's clothing up and what personal items of her mom's that are in my basement. And unfortunately, we're doing some remodeling and we had a major flood. So everything that we packed about 3 weeks ago, I've been dry cleaning and redoing. So, and that's basically clothing and shoes and that kind of stuff, nothing real sentimental. So it's, that on top of just a lack of communication. It's not that Grace can't have her stuff. It's just that the only time I ever heard from Rex is when he showed up on my doorstep. And basically told me he was going to the probate court because my daughter chose to not follow rules at home because she was smoking pot, had pot in my house.
I don't really want to get into all that. This is
Okay, that's why I asked.
All right, yes, you're right. I stuck my foot in it. I don't have a good answer for you, Mr. Bartlett. You can sue him. It seems like it'd be a lot easier to give it back, but this isn't about things or it isn't about money. It's about hard feelings between parties. And the court is getting dragged into stuff that ought to just be resolved without the assistance of the court, but that's what small claims is for. All right, I'm ordering the $1,000 at $100 per month, starting August 15th. The bailiff will take you out, Mr. Bartlett. You can get a copy of this and then you're free to go. All right, Mr. Lafferty. If he does not pay it, you can do what's called a discovery subpoena. Might make things better if you could make arrangements to return the property. Maybe that'd speed things up.
And my daughter's property had nothing to do with this because this story's changed.
I understand it does not, which is why I didn't want to get into it.
Yeah.
All right. All right. That case had a couple of different problems. All right, Mr. and Mrs. Large, would you come up and have a seat here? Amber, could you unmute your microphone?
Hey, be quiet. Yeah.
Are you Garth Large?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're Linda Large?
Yes.
And you're Amber Fox?
Correct.
And is Pedro Pena with you as well?
Yes.
It's Pablo.
Hello.
Pablo, all right. Will everyone please raise their right hand? You all swear or affirm any testimony you're about to give in this matter will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
I do.
Yeah.
All right, this is a claim again for the statutory limit of small claims, $6,500. Mr. and Mrs. Large were your landlords. We had a previous possession hearing. This is about damages. Looking for that breakdown sheet. The largest claim. First, let's see if we can figure out their figures, and then we'll address your counterclaim figures. So, Ms. Large, you contend that rent is November through February at $850 per month, $3,400. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Fox, what do you say to that?
I say
You
that I don't.
acknowledge that? Go ahead.
I said I don't agree with it because every month that I lived there until we got a court date, I texted her every month and asked her if she wanted me to deposit the rent money in the bank because I was still there. And she told me no, that she had told the bank not to accept my payments.
Well, once they start a landlord tenant termination action, they can't accept your money. So do you acknowledge that you didn't pay November, December, January, or February's rent?
Yeah.
All right. Then, Mr.
No.
Large, you had to get a dumpster, $650.
That's correct, Your Honor.
How much stuff was in there?
We
30
have,
30
Only one person can talk at a time.
There's a 30-yard dumpster. It was completely full. And we have pictures of it.
So why don't you let me see those pictures? So did you hire someone or you went in and emptied this all out?
I did it myself and a friend of mine.
this is Bruce's statement about what it will look like. The little pictures are before they moved in, and the big pictures is
Well,
how
the
they
problem
left
is
it.
you're here live and they're not, so it's gonna be very difficult for them to see these.
They're all dated.
Pitch,
Oh my. Yeesh.
We've
All
never-
right,
we've never
so,
had
all right,
this
we have
much of them,
$650 for a dumpster. Roach infested, 8578, what is that? Did you get a treatment or something?
He bought treatment stuff and did it himself. It was full of roaches.
Bathroom cabinet atop, 110. Odor eliminator, 60. Door locks, $35. Broken windows, $318. Wall repair, holes in walls, $41.42. Dog, $25 per month. Does the lease say that?
Yes, Your Honor.
So that's, how long is that? A
I
year?
think, I don't know how long they had it. I assumed a year. They never let us know. They were supposed to get prior permission.
Did you have a dog there?
Yeah, but Garth knew about it when our main water line broke because my twin showed him the dog.
We'll put a question mark regarding that. Doors and knobs, $287.66. Bathroom cabinet, $18. Labor, Bobby Wright. That's the person that helped you under the dumpster.
yes, Your Honor.
All right, so that adds up to $7,300. minus the $800 deposit is $6,500. We'll put a question mark regarding the dogs. Do you agree that the deposit was 800?
Are you talking?
And Ms. Fox? Yes.
Yes.
All right, so that is applied to any damages. How did the place get so wrecked up?
I don't see how it was wrecked up because I had been going through, there was already holes in the wall that we had repaired a whole bunch. I've been painting it, we've been fixing the cupboards. There was a few kitchen cupboards that was broken that we hadn't fixed. The whole bathroom upstairs never worked. Every time the bathtub or the shower or whatever was turned on, it flooded in my bedroom downstairs. Garth told me that he went through and he fixed all that. So I had to wait an extra week to move in when we first moved in. But in all reality, what happened is he went up there and he put black leaf bags in the ceiling. So Thanksgiving Day, the bag must have got too much water because it fell through and it ruined the whole bedroom ceiling. Like all the tiles fell out on my bed. It ruined my twins' brand new toddler bed. It ruined my laptop.
Well, let's talk about that. This is your counterclaim. You've got water and sewer, 1,186. What's that about?
Well, when I was there, I paid the last bill, but when I got this, I called the city and the lady told me that this November and December was actually for like September and October, and the January and February was for November and December because they bill ahead. Like, I don't know. I didn't understand that either. So I agree to that because if it's my bill, it's my bill.
All right. So dumpster, 650. All right, these are his. You got plaintiff owes me, I believe, Terminex for roaches and termites that was told about when I moved in, 2,034.96. What's that?
I texted Linda and I told her that I had been seeing little bugs all around the house. She told me that she would have Garth come over there and look at it, which never happened. I woke up, I want to say maybe about 2 weeks later, and the front room that we used for the twins' bedroom, I don't remember which one it was. Their bed was by the window. And when I woke up to go out there to check on them, they had termites all over them.
Well, did you hire Terminex?
Yeah, because they wouldn't take care of nothing there. Linda kept telling me
All
that.
right, so you spent $2,034.96 of your money?
I did, yep. And I actually have the contract in my email, which I didn't know how to get it to you guys because I called them to get this for you.
All right. We'll come back to that. Upstairs bathroom,
Your Honor,
650.
could I comment on that?
Oh, I said we'll come back to it.
Okay.
I'll let you respond when it's your turn to respond. Now, this is their contention. This is hard to see, but I'll hold these up of what the property looked like when you rented it.
I can't see none of those.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the best I can.
What?
Here's the room when they rented it to you. And here's what it looked like when you left.
Can't see. I can't see none of those.
You can't see that view.
No, I can see like me, but
All right,
No.
well, the place is trashed. There's
Okay,
junk
well, I don't-
all over the place. The pictures from when you rented it looked very clean and neat. you can't see them, but every room is freshly painted, clean floors.
Okay, well, they didn't paint nothing, so that's incorrect because I told Garth and Linda that I would paint to be able to move in fast. So there was nothing, no freshly painted when I moved in. That's a lie.
When did you move in? These pictures are dated 10/31 of 2020.
I signed a lease on 11/1 of 20, but I can guarantee you that there was no freshly painted nothing because I agreed to do it. You can, I mean, we're under oath, so ask Linda, did I not volunteer to paint her whole house just so we could be able to move in?
Oh my gosh. The toilet is deplorable.
Oh, the upstairs toilet that never worked. They would do nothing about it. We tried fixing,
They said if you don't.
I tried fixing the bathroom. We put new pipe. Yeah, hold on a minute. We put all brand new pipes underneath the bathtub because every time the bathtub was used upstairs, it would flood downstairs in my bedroom and ruin everything. That bathroom never worked.
The whole 3 years we were there.
We put in the new wall right there by the bathtub. We fixed all of that.
All right. Well, let's see what we can figure out. Mrs. Large,
Yes,
these pictures are dated October 31st of 2020. Are
Yeah.
these pictures that you took that day?
yes,
And are they
They're
fair and
from
accurate
my
pictures of
camera.
what it looked like just before, the day before they moved in?
right,
Did the upstairs bathroom work?
yes. I have a signed, Johnson's are the ones who moved out on the 31st. Actually, Amber approached her because they were being evicted. We felt sorry for them. And we told them they were in a hurry. They could move in the kindness of our heart, but they'd have to accept it as is. But as you can see from the pictures, it was in very good shape. I mean, it was clean. I have
Well, did she paint it?
she did paint it, but she painted the colors she wanted to paint, all dark gray and
So
black.
those reds and blues that are there, that was the way it looked the day before they moved in.
Right, yes,
All right, and then
absolutely.
she painted it other colors.
Yeah,
Not the bedroom.
All right, now there's junk everywhere. When they moved out, doors are broken, there's trash everywhere, there's a clogged toilet, which I don't feel compelled to share that picture. It's in deplorable shape. So from November of 20, and they moved out in February of 22.
Watch this.
So they were there about 14 months. All right, now she claims that the ceiling broke loose and some of her property was flooded. What can you tell me about that?
I have a signed statement and it's dated from Johnson's that moved on the 31st of October. It's from Penny. She says, when I moved, the ceiling in the bedroom was not leaking. Also, we did not have any cockroaches and never saw any termites.
Would you hand that to the bailiff?
The bailiff.
Oh, there it is.
When I moved in, the ceiling in the bathroom was not leaking. Also, we did not have any cockroaches and never saw any termites. Termites are a little slipperier, but the way this property looked, I could see why it had cockroaches. So did they tell you that the bathroom this is the downstairs ceiling?
Yes, it's downstairs bedroom, the bathroom right above it. And I went in there and I checked it out and looked at it, thought I had it fixed, okay. And I guess it kept on leaking. And then I asked
What
him,
was the source of the leak?
the drain, so,
The drain in the tub?
yes.
I changed that.
It,
I also
Say
called
that
you.
again. Just a
I
minute.
changed,
Go ahead.
we changed all of that. We took the
Well,
wall down.
that's not something a tenant does. That's something the landlord does.
But every time I would call Linda and tell her that there was a problem, Linda would tell me I could either fix it or they would condemn the house.
And we'll kick you out.
Every time they came to the house, if there was an issue about the house being so dirty or so wrecked or whatever, why didn't they say nothing? My house was always clean. I'm not saying that I didn't put trash on the back porch, but I can guarantee you that the house was not dirty. So when I left, there was trash on the back that I texted Linda and asked her if I could come in, if I could have until tomorrow to get dump passes in a trailer to get all the bags of trash and everything off the back porch.
She said, no, we want you.
Linda told me no, that she would not, no, that there was a writ. Okay, that's fine. What am I supposed to do with it? If I don't have a way to move it because one of my cars was down, I had my friends helping me get the stuff out that I needed to get out of there. They even took my furniture and cut it and put it on the front of the road that wasn't even mine. It was Rent-A-Center's.
We cut it in pieces.
So now not only do I owe them, as they're saying that I owe them, I owe Rent-A-Center for furniture that I had just got that is no good to me because somebody cut it up and put it outside to the front yard. So when Rent-A-Center pulled up to get it, they called me and had me come over there because somebody cut it all up and threw it outside.
Well, that's, Your Honor,
Stop. I don't know how to show you these pictures.
Okay, so then can we adjourn it and get an in-court date? Because I'd love to bring in my receipt and contract from Terminex. I'd love to bring in my receipt from when me and my sister both fell through the deck and she wouldn't replace no boards and made me pay for the boards to be fixed. Like
People for the bathroom.
Yeah.
Penny asked for Penny. Yeah, okay, there might have not have been a leak when Penny lived there, but Garth himself knows that there was a leak because he tried telling me that it was the guts of the toilet. So he was trying to figure it out before I moved in. Linda knows herself that I called her Thanksgiving morning. I apologized for calling her on a holiday, but I told her, I don't know what Garth put up in the ceiling, but a big black leaf bag just fell through all over my bed and ruined everything. She even got upset with Garth and told Garth, why would you put a leaf bag in the ceiling? Garth tried saying that I had to have did it. All the ceiling tiles was already up before I moved in. So there's no way that I could have been able to put a leaf bag in the ceiling. And to my knowledge, Garth got the problem fixed. So there would be no reason for me to put a leaf bag in the ceiling.
All right. Okay, slow down. You claim that you hired Terminex, but you do have a receipt that you paid them that amount of money?
Yep, I got it in my email.
What do you know about that?
Nothing. They never approached us. They never said anything to us. We feel that would have been our responsibility and they accepted the place as is. It's right on the front of the contract.
Well, as is, there has to be a minimum covenant of habitability. Did the city inspect this property? When was it last inspected?
I think it was like a year ago and it looked good then. It did. When we went in, we thought it looked good.
I'm ashamed of looking at these pictures. In fact, all the toilets are just, I can't even stand to look at them. Why someone would leave a house like that? And there is a full dumpster and there's junk everywhere, inside and out. And so we've got to determine that. What I'm trying to determine, there's also the garage seems to be just full of garbage.
that's it.
And there's needles. There's
Yes.
a picture of needles.
There were spoons when we moved in the garage. That was all there. Needle.
All right, yes, you're gonna have to be here live to see these pictures. And we're going to have to.
But in the meantime, no, hold on. But in the meantime, Penny told me that 2 days after I moved out, Garth had to chase a whole bunch of people out of the house and off the property and all that. So, How can,
All right.
that's what I'm trying to figure out,
All
like,
right, well, all right, slow down. Were there ever squatters in there after they left?
Nobody was there. The day after Garth was working in the house, we had a lady come and she says, that grocery cart that's in your yard has some of my stuff in it. Can I get it? We had, 2 days after they moved out, the mailbox disappeared, but there was mail in those 2 days. From people, Terry Wilson was getting mail there. Mike and Peggy Herring was getting mail there. They had her sister-in-law Hannah and Brandon living there. And
Hannah,
evidently that lady with that had stuff in the shopping cart, she was living there, but nobody's been in the house at all
the
since
shopping
they
cart.
moved. We've been there, my husband has been there almost every single day since February working on that house.
Mm,
All right, Miss Fox,
yep.
did these other people also live there?
I don't know who the lady with the shopping cart is.
But did Terry
Mike-
Wilson live there?
She did not. I don't
Did
even know
Mike
why
and Mike and Penny Herring live there?
Penny was, past residents.
Yeah, them was past residents. There was mail for Bradley Huey coming there, Mike Johnson. There were, when I went to the post office, there's about 27 people's mail going there. That's just not since I've lived there.
All right, who else lived there during the time you were there?
Me, Pablo, and the kids. She swears up and down that Brandon and Hannah lived there. Brandon and Hannah did not live there. I can have people over at my house without her controlling my household. She tried telling me who could and couldn't be at my house, who could stay the nights there, who couldn't stay the nights there. I do what I want to do when I'm paying her my rent faithfully every month.
All right. Well, you're using the belligerent technique. You trash these people's house and you're not slightly even remorseful about any of it. You're all
Okay,
indignant
but the
about
house
the
was
indignant.
not
Stop. And so it might work with somebody, but it doesn't work with me. So these pictures are embarrassingly bad. You also owe several months of rent, which is not in dispute. So this claim is going to be substantial. What I'm trying to determine is whether there's a set off for your damages. They've supported their claim for $6,500. I'm trying to determine whether there should be some set off from your claim. Normally, if these pictures were scanned in, we could screen share and you could see them, but this is small claims court and people aren't technically savvy, but we're going to have to be here. Now, their claim is that your claim is you hired Terminex regarding termites. Why you would do that, I don't know. That's the kind of thing you would take to the landlord, but
I did. I did.
She did
And
not.
all right,
She
well,
told me-
all right, we'll determine that. So we're going to continue this
okay.
for
She even-
live proceedings. Okay. The irony is you'll get a judgment. You're going to have a very difficult time getting any money collected on it.
Right.
Right.
We're going to continue this to Monday, July 10th at 3 o'clock. Does that work for you guys? Live. The before and after pictures are telling. Mr. and Mrs. Large, it would also be helpful if you can get from the city of Three Rivers your last date of inspection, rental inspection.
We do that.
I'd like you to bring in any other documentation you have, Ms. Fox, including your Terminex bill.
Okay.
If it's for termites, it's one thing. If it's for roaches, I'm not surprised that there are roaches if the place looked like this. But we'll see what we can figure out. As I indicated, I believe they have established their side of the case. I'm trying to determine the set off for your counterclaim. So we'll continue this to live July 10th at 3 p.m. All right, we'll address it. I've got a couple other cases, but we should have a good hour and a half or so to devote to this. All right, Ms. Fox, I'll see you then.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, that'll give me something to look forward to come back after the 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
But yes, all right. I'll see you then, July 10th at 3 o'clock.
Okay, thank you, Hunter.
Thank you.
We got better pictures.
No, you
Or
keep it.
you're-
No, I'm gonna keep the picture.
Okay, sure, fine. You don't need-
All right, that finishes our afternoon. I gotta make some notes here. I inadvertently return to the matter of Garth and Linda Large versus Pablo Pena and Amber Fox. We were here by Zoom on June 26th. We took quite a bit of testimony and I reviewed a large packet of photographs which supported. Just a minute, I thought I was done with this guy. Which supported Mr. and Mrs. Large's claim for at least $6,500 worth of damage. The photographs showed the property was in deplorable condition. Mr. Lafferty, you came back. Did we forget something?
No, I didn't know what happened, so I didn't know if I should log back in and just.
Yeah, no, I excuse you. You're good to go.
Oh, okay.
All right. They had filed a counterclaim for alleged property that it was kind of hard to discern. It was all scribbled on here. They claimed that property was damaged when they had water damage from the roof giving way. So I continued the matter for live testimony and we could actually see the photographs and they aren't here. She also contended that she had a large Terminex bill, which I was somewhat leery about, that the tenant would pay a very large amount of Terminex. And I wanted to see it. Well, they aren't here. The bill's not here. No pictures are here and they're not here to have anything to support their counterclaim. Mr. and Mrs. Large, let me put you under oath once again. You swear or affirm any testimony you give again here today will be true to the best of your knowledge and belief.
Yes.
Anything further? Since we were here 2 weeks ago, you did send some additional pictures, which also showed a lot of damage. I'm looking for Amber Fox or Pablo Pena. Anything since we were last here?
Yes, Your Honor. After we left court, I called Terminex and I talked to the branch manager, Mr. Kevin DeVos. And they did indeed sign a year contract for the amount that they stated, but they canceled it. And let's see, they canceled it in July. And he explained to him they would still owe that money. And she got really irate with him. And they never paid it and it was turned over to collections, so they never did pay that money.
All right. You were also gonna get the last Three Rivers City inspection date. Do you have the date of that?
I do. That was September 15th of 2021.
All right, so they were quite animated, but they aren't here to back any of it up. Very good. Your property was approved by Safe Built, Mr. Joe Klein. In Three Rivers and Sturgis, we have the benefit of having the property regularly inspected. Sometimes out in the townships or other villages like the Wild West, people are renting things that really are not up to code. City of Three Rivers does a good job at it, and so does Sturgis, but they're not here, live or otherwise. I find for the plaintiff zero for counterclaim. The amount of $6,500 plus costs of $97.9501 for a total of $6,692.01. I expected they were gonna be here. We were gonna have a big go-round. Maybe somewhat moot, because trying to collect on this will be something else.
Right.
Whenever I see pictures like this, I think, I'm sure glad I'm not a landlord. And the before and after pictures are quite telling. The property was quite neat and tidy, and then it was something else altogether. And you're doing it yourself. So what you testified last week is since they moved out, you've been back in it. It's hard to make any profit when you spend $10,000 worth of loss.
Right.
But if you go out to the counter, the clerk will give you a copy of that judgment. They do have 21 days before you can take any collection action, but you're free to go.
Yeah, thank you, John.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Kim. You can have Janice. And I took the other one out. All right, Frank, you're good to go. That was the one I thought might be contentious, but they aren't here.
Gotcha.
All right, the next case.